Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks, and somebody's going to make an earring, and they wanted to know how they could blend bigger to smaller at the bottom on a certain path with a star in the middle of a circle. So I thought I'd show them, or you, and you might not use a star, but this would be something you could use. So I'm going to get the ellipse tool, I'm going to hold down the control button, and then with my ratio lock, I'm going to make this thing 2 inches. And then I'm going to Control D and make a duplicate of that image. And then I'm going to bring it in, holding down the Shift key to get another image or another ellipse inside there. And I'm drawing in the center of the page. So I'm going to start drawing a straight line and hold down my control button. I'm going to hit P. And then I'm going to get both my ellipses and hit P. And I'm going to take this part of this circle and break it off. Now I can get rid of this line. I don't need it anymore. This thing is 2 inches. We're going to set our nudge factor to 3, and we're going to nudge that out of the way. That's going to be our path. Now we need to make the star and the circle. I'm also going to nudge this out of the way. So I'm going to draw a little circle. I'm going to hit P, put it in the center of the page. I'm going to take a star, and a star is an unusual object. You have to start off with 6 points for it to go in the center. Because if you do it, I've made many videos on here. If you do it with a 5-sided star and then you hit P, look at the difference. So we'll do a 6-sided, hit P, put it in the center of the page. Then we can make it a 5-sided, it's still in the center. And then we need to grab them both and go back minus front, and now we have an outline, a cutout of a star. And then we need 2 sizes, so Control D and make a duplicate of that guy. Hold down the Shift key and make it a little bit smaller. You don't really want it too much smaller. Now get out the Blend tool, which is under Effects, Blend, and we're going to blend 5 of those, and then we're going to put them on this path. So I'm going to go down here to New Path, touch the path, blend along full path, but do not rotate the object so the stars will all be the same configuration. And you see what we've got. Now, we can nudge that over back to the center and nudge this one back over the center just to kind of see what it looks like. And if you'll notice, they're not really in the center anymore because the bigger star, but we're gonna fix that in just a second. Go up to Object and ungroup everything. Well, break the blend apart first, and then go to Object and ungroup it. And then we can get rid of our blend path. Now, what I would do is Control G to group that together, and there's really no way to mirror it perfectly. So the best thing to do is Control D and make a duplicate of it, and then, yeah, I didn't do it. So grab it, Control D, make a duplicate, and then while holding down the control button, mirror it. It's going to put it over there, but you can get these dead on because of the fact that there's a point on that star. So we're going to grab that point right there and put it right there. Now we do have 2 objects on top of each other, but that's very easily getting to make. So what we can do, we can grab this group and move it out of the way. Go up to Object, Ungroup, and take away that one, and that one, and now we can just nudge these back. And now we only have 1 set of stars. Now you can see it's not in the center, which could be or could not be okay, so I'm going to nudge that out of the way. I'm going to group these together, Control G, and watch them move when I hit P. They moved up ever so slightly. Now the stars are in a center. The only problem I see with this drawing is there's going to be very little place to put your earring part unless you do this, and we'll go ahead and do that just because that would be a problem on this scenario. Let's just go ahead and get rid of that. Let's nudge this over and put P, put that in the center of the page. Take you a round circle and hit P. Hold down the control button and let it go to the top. That way it's right in the middle. Let's zoom in here. And then just take your virtual segment delete key and delete those two lines. Now, you wouldn't really have to, but I always smart fill it, nudge that out of the way, left click, right click, and what that did, it welded all the parts together. So we can get rid of that one, move this one back, and then you'd need a little hole, and you'd want to measure this to see how big a hole you need. And you could just ballpark it, or you could hit P, put it in the center, and then while holding down the control button, it'll be right in the center, about right in there. Then Control G to group that together, and then hit P. Well, it's already in the center of the page, and then just nudge this over. Now, I messed up a little bit. I should not have done that. Let me just back up here and see where I went wrong. Okay, there's what we need. So what I did wrong is I hit P and put this in the center of the page. You don't want to do that, because when you could, let's go ahead and put this back in the center of the page, but I'm just nudging, and then draw your circle, hit P on that, move it up till it locks, get your virtual segment delete key and delete those two. And you could actually put in the small hole before you weld it. Might even help a little bit. And then you could weld it, or not weld it, but smart fill it, move that out of the way. And then do not hit P, because now I actually moved it a little bit. You're gonna mess up where that is. So just nudge it and nudge this back over, and now you're ready to cut. So your stars are in your center. That's a little weak right there, but you could actually probably move that up a little bit or make the hole smaller. But that's how that's done. I hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.